This is episode 51 of the Online Playmaker Sessions with social media blogging and attraction marketing experts Todd and Leah Getz.
Welcome to the Online Playmaker Sessions. This is the place for the latest what's working now strategies from the best online playmakers, the top marketers, the rising stars who are making it happen right now. Every week, you'll get real, actionable lessons that you can take and apply immediately in your business, delivered in short 20-minute sessions. Our focus is your results. Here's your host, entrepreneur, world-class trainer, and marketing strategist, Norbert Orlowitz.
Hello, online playmakers. If this is your first time tuning into the Playmaker Sessions, thank you for choosing us, and don't forget to subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, and if you prefer video, our YouTube channel at onlineprofitplaybook.tv. As with all of our episodes, we have all the show notes, transcripts, and actionable tips over on the blog. Just head over to www.onlineprofitplaybook.com. You'll also be able to get access to my complimentary 5-video tutorial series on building the proper foundation for your online business, as well as several other free trainings, including my Instant Income Multiplier tutorial. And if you're ready to multiply your results fast, check out the premium membership of our Online Profit Playbook, where our guests open up their closely guarded playbooks and walk you step by step through the exact marketing funnels and sales process they use to build their audience, grow their influence, and make sales. Get the coveted Online Profit Playbook today. Just head over to onlineprofitplaybook.com and join the Playmakers. It was only 2.5 years ago that Leah and Todd were introduced to network marketing. Having a very similar experience as most others in the industry, they quickly ran out of people to talk to about their business, so they soon decided to take their business online. Drawing upon their previous experience as IT consultants, they found unique ways to create leverage and automation in their lead generation tactics, which allowed them to achieve a huge amount of success in a relatively short amount of time. And now, just over a year into bringing their business online, Todd and Leah have become top recruiters and earners, as well as popular speakers, trainers, and coaches in the network marketing industry. Their free, leveraged entrepreneur series of training courses has helped thousands of people to successfully market their business on social media, and they actively train thousands of people every week online with weekly small group interactive webinars, daily Facebook live streams, as well as one-on-one private coaching. This week's Online Playmakers, Todd and Leah Getz. All right, welcome back, everybody. Norbert Orlowitz here again with episode 51 of the Online Playmaker Sessions. And today I am bringing to you an amazing couple from rural Oklahoma, Todd and Leah Getz. Todd and Leah, how are you guys doing today?
Awesome.
Doing all right.
Thank you very much.
That is awesome. I'm really excited to have you guys on the show here. I'm curious to learn more about you and learn about how you got involved in this industry. And I learned just now that you guys have only been involved in online marketing for 14 months, which is pretty incredible because you've achieved a lot and you've really kind of made a brand for yourself and created some pretty amazing presence online in a very short amount of time. So I am really interested to hear how you guys do that. And I'm sure that our listeners will be as well. So Todd and Leah, take us back a little bit. For those who don't know who you are, just give us a little bit of a brief background, how you got involved in this industry, and then specifically into online marketing.
Sure.
Okay.
Started with an email from a friend that we thought was spam. We got it, and it was just kind of a title like, "Oh my gosh, this is so great! You have to check it out." And then it was just a link to a video, and we're like, "Oh my gosh, someone hacked into her email, and they're sending us a spam."
Yeah, it was bad at the time. So Todd and I had both been doing IT consulting. Our son came along, and so I was staying home with them, and Todd was still traveling back and forth doing IT consulting. So that's where we were. We ended up visiting with that friend a little later, and she introduced me to a health and wellness product, a company that she was working with. And out of pure pity, I bought some because she was going through some life stuff, and I was like, "Oh, okay, I'll get some," because we were stable. It was okay. So
I was like, "Oh, whatever, go ahead."
Right, and then I actually had some really good physical results from it. I was like, "Wow, this is really cool." Well, hey, I'm a stay-at-home mom. What the heck? I'm going to tell people about it anyway. My background is actually in nursing, so I was like, I know so many people with aches and pains and things that this can help, and I'll just tell everybody, and so might as well get paid for it, right? And I had like zero ambition and like. Just like, whatevs, and Todd.
Yeah, I told her no.
Right.
You told her no, just flat out.
No, because he had done Cutco in college and didn't succeed at it. So then I bought a $2,000 package and went all in.
You bought two $2,000 packages.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she said yes, I said no, and we compromised and went in with two $2,000 packages.
Nice compromise. Nice compromise.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it all worked out in the end. We ended up I was kind of playing around with it, real casual, kind of like your typical like first introduction to the industry. And then Todd started like slowly feeding me books and things.
Well, and it wasn't just that. It was, I would listen because most of our friends and family live, remotely, like in Minnesota and Wisconsin and, all over, because, we've moved a bit. And so I would sit here, I would sit on the couch listening to her on the phone, doing her presentation to her friends and family. And I would just sit there and think to myself, oh, you shouldn't say that. That's not right. That's not. Yeah. And her closing line, and I don't want to.
I don't even remember. It was ages ago.
Yeah, her top secret closing line was, "Do you want to sell?" I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, no, they don't want to sell. Nobody wants to sell. They don't want to be a pushy salesman. And so, I was, and I didn't say it, but that's what I was thinking in my head. No. And so I was thinking to myself, well, if she's going to do this, she put $4,000 into this. She at least should learn to do it right. And I know she's not going to buy any books about it. So I went on Amazon and found some books about network marketing and bought them and started reading through them myself. And, whatever information I got, if I found a good book, I would hand it off to her. And that's kind of how we started with our personal development.
Right.
Oh, that is so supportive.
Yeah. I wanted my $4,000 back.
You're like, I'm getting an ROI on this money. I don't care how.
Definitely. And the thing is, through that process, I ran across a book called Business of the 21st Century by Robert Kiyosaki. And through reading that's what convinced me that this was something that had a real potential for us, to be a potential full-time income, because I was still traveling, back and forth to California for my IT contracts.
Right. Oh, wow.
And, I as soon as I read that book, it's like, it just made sense. And I thought, this is what could be something that brings me home.
Right.
This is something that could replace my, I've got a 6-figure income. This is something that can replace my 6-figure income legitimately. And so I got more and more involved in it. And actually what I would do is after work, we learned a little bit more about cold market prospecting, trying to figure out how to make this work, how to find new people to talk to. And so I would actually go out after work, go to the bookstore, to the mall, to the gas station, everywhere I could think of where there might be people who, would be, the most interested in what we're marketing. And I would try to do some cold market prospecting. I was horrible at it, but I did it, because I saw the potential in it.
And we ended up doing a bunch of purchase leads, and I spent the summer before last, I spent the whole summer inside, like doing cold calling and calling paid leads, like 60 hours a week.
Plus you cold called realtors.
Yep. Oh, it was horrible. I hated every minute of it. It was miserable. And that's, we kept dumping money and energy and time into it and just couldn't turn a profit. And it was really, really frustrating. And we ended up and it felt like we were kind of running out of options too, because, this was supposedly the way people were building their businesses. And we knew that we needed to build skills. We knew that, we would eventually get better at it, and that, if we did it for long enough and were consistent with it, it would work. But it was, not a process that we enjoyed. We want to just. Yeah. He's supposed to be in bed and he just got out. So I need to go put him back.
He's naked from the bottom down. And
why are you wearing
No problem. No problem. This is part of working from home. This is what it's all about.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Gotta love it. We are not stopping this interview. We are keeping all of this for sure, because this is authentic entrepreneurship. Right? I love it.
Well, and that's the other thing. I mean, because Leah's the one who stays at home and she's the one that does the calls. And, we've got a 2.5-year-old that that's just, running around and making noise like 2-year-olds do. And she works through it. But the thing is, that's the type of people we attract too into our business is, other stay-at-home moms and people who want to be able to stay at home and have their kids running around and, screaming in their in their phone while they're trying to talk to their leads and their prospects.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So tell me now the transition, because a lot of that story with traditional network marketing, I can absolutely relate to. And I know a lot of people listening to can relate to as well. What's so frustrating about it is because, a lot of us come into the network marketing industry with successful careers or successful businesses that we've run before. And then I've seen this so many times, talented, smart, intelligent people get into network marketing and then can't figure it out. They're told to do these things,
exactly, and
it just doesn't work. And it's amazing. What a shot to the confidence sometimes, where it's like, I'm a smart person. I don't know why I can't get this. Why are people having to do this and I can't do this?
Like I had gone from being, a 6-figure income earner in a professional job as a consultant to like being in debt and not being able to turn any profit into network marketing.
Right. And the hardest part was, going to our company's events and seeing all these people walk up on stage, and we're sitting there in the crowd and, and then making that decision that, okay, next time we're going to be on that stage, we're going to do whatever we need to do to get up there. And the next event rolls around and you're still sitting there and new people are coming up.
And we were working really hard. It wasn't that we weren't putting in the time. So we were pretty disheartened.
Yeah.
But was it through Tanya Eliza that you got connected?
Well, okay. So long story short, we bought Eric Worre's book, GoPro. From Eric Worre's book, I went to his website, saw a bunch of interviews that he did, and saw one by Ray Higdon. So I started following Ray Higdon. From Ray Higdon, I saw that he was doing videos, so I started looking at Ray Higdon on YouTube. And from YouTube, I found Cesar Rodriguez. From Cesar Rodriguez, I found Tanya Eliza. And then from Tanya Eliza, she was promoting a launch of one of Adam Chandler's products, List Leverage 2.0. And so that's how we get connected with Adam Chandler. And when we saw, when we went through Adam Chandler's List Leverage 2.0 course and saw how he had marketed his business online and was able to basically build it from scratch online, that's when it clicked in my head that, this is how I want to build my business, targeting the right people, not having to chase after people at the mall, not having to cold call people who have no interest in hearing from you. Right. This is how I want to build my business. And so I kind of made a decision that, well, first we tried to implement some of those things and we were not exactly sure how it would fit into our network marketing business. So I'm like, we know we want to do this. We've got questions. I'm going to contact this guy. Okay. So I did. He didn't really have a email me form or anything like that. He just had an application to work with him. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to fill this out. So I filled out the application to work with Adam. And a couple of days later, he called me and we had a nice chat. And so I asked some of the questions I had about his course. And then I'm like, is it, I'm not really interested in switching network marketing companies, but I would be interested in hiring you as a coach. Do you do that sort of thing? He's like, well, yeah, sure. And so we hired him as a coach. And from there, he brought us an MLSP and
right. And like our first coaching.
Adam Chandler, the hardest salesman I know. Yeah, I guess I'll do some coaching.
Exactly.
Yes, he's thoroughly into the attraction. Just come, the attraction marketing concept.
But and it works. Isn't it amazing though how it does actually work, right?
Yeah, completely. And like our first coaching call with Adam, he was like, okay, I can't even charge you guys for this. This is like, we had no idea anything he was talking about. Like it was bad. Like, so 14 months ago when we started, it wasn't like we had some general knowledge of things. We were at like nothing. And this was our Hail Mary path to just to make it happen. And we just put our heads down and got to work. So
this is where I have a lot of interest in, because I always find, like you said, you're at the event and you're like, I'm going to be there next year. And then next year rolls around and you're still not there. And you're wondering, like, what am I supposed to be doing? Because I'm doing these activities, right? I'm doing the phone calls, I'm calling realtors, I'm doing this, and there's no results, right?
Right.
The same thing kind of happens online as well, because there's a lot of people that get online and then they struggle for a year, they struggle for 2, they see people having success, but they're like, what am I doing wrong? Why are the pieces not fitting together? So I'm really interested in, what did you do? What were the activities that you were taking? What were the steps that you were taking to create results? Because 14 months is a pretty short amount of time to go from absolute zero to where you guys are right now. So take us through that journey. Share with us kind of maybe the first 3 to 6 months, and then sort of where was that breakthrough point?
Sure. Well, probably the number one thing we did was contact Adam. I mean, we found a mentor, someone who had built their business the way that we wanted to build our business, and we got in touch with him and got his help. That was the number one thing. Otherwise, we probably
would have floundered. Yeah. It would have been years longer.
Right. Yep.
And then, our first 3-4 months were a bit slow, just sort of learning a ton, and getting sort of more our long-term things figured out. So with Instagram and Twitter and building up our audience, working on our blog, getting out content. But it was months before we got our first commission.
That was 2 or 3 months. But I mean, we were generating leads right away, and it was just a learning process. You have to learn the first step, and then you have to learn how to set up your blog and how to set up your social media profiles and do all that sort of thing. Then the next thing you need to do is start creating your content. And then after that, you have to learn how to start generating leads. And then we were generating a good amount of leads within 3 weeks, 4 weeks.
Yeah, we were starting to consistently generate leads by then. But we didn't get any commissions for a few months. And I think where a lot of people would see that as like, oh, this is working. And because we were putting in a lot of time, it wasn't like a casual thing. It was like, when we do something, we do it, we go all in. And I think a lot of people would have just quit by then. But we knew we had our vision of, otherwise he'd be working, traveling for the rest of our lives, and we want a family, right? We got one small child already, and we wanted more, and just didn't, we had this vision of our future. And so we're going to do this, right? So we just stuck with it, and we kept investing in ourselves. And that was huge. Plugging in with different mentors. We actually did Adam Chandler's Mile High Mastermind in January, took away a lot of really good information from that, from what was taught, but just also the masterminding afterwards, like hanging out with guys, working through what we're doing. That's where a lot of the magic happens. And so we got some really good ideas. We came home, started implementing them. We went through the Biz Builder Challenge and just really focused in on income producing activities and ramping, working on our efficiency and ramping things up. And that, what we've consistently done is we've consistently invested in ourselves and plugged in with different mentors. So we've had multiple mentors in these 14 months that have each added a piece of the puzzle. Right? Like Diane Hoffman's Twister List course and with newsletter writing. I've actually done some work with Aaron Rashkin and just like posture, some others with how to close and all of this kind of stuff. All of these mentors have added a piece of the puzzle, and we were never scared to just step up and invest our time and our money into. We've got a long-term vision. This isn't some short-term get-rich-quick thing. Like we've always had a long-term game in mind. So we knew that we had to have a really solid foundation in place in order to get there.
Yeah. And the thing is, we knew that in order to earn a 6-figure income, we needed to learn 6-figure skills. It wasn't just going to happen just by being online for the sake of being online.
Right.
We knew that we needed to learn these skills. And so that's a mentality that we've kind of used throughout this whole process, is that, if there's something valuable that we need to know, we need to invest in it and learn it from somebody who's doing it.
That's awesome. It's such great advice. And, I always say to people, listen, you've got 2 things that you can leverage. You can leverage time or money. And, what I see, what you guys are doing is you were able to leverage some money, invest some money into yourselves, invest into mentorship and coaching and getting education so you could fast track your path to success. So instead of the typical 3 years, you've shortened this down to a few months. I mean, to be able to start generating leads in 3 weeks, to make your first commissions in 3 months, when you look at the whole big picture of online and affiliate marketing and the whole world of online business, that's kind of unheard of, in all reality, right? Most people struggle for months and months to try to set up their platforms and start creating leads and results, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so we're starting to run out of time, but I want to talk, get a little bit more specifics from you guys as well. So you guys are big into social media and blogging. Is blogging sort of your main piece? What's working for you guys in marketing right now? What's really getting you guys the big results?
I would say definitely having that source of evergreen content that we can always go back to and leverage. I mean, one of the big reasons why we brought our business online is because of the leverage. Okay, if we had to sit here all day and just message people in order to generate our leads and get sales and signups, I mean, that wouldn't, I mean, you know, the difference between that and being able to go out to the mall and prospect people, I don't see too much of a difference, aside from, you know, you can reach more people online, but you're still chasing after people. And so that's why we really wanted to focus on the leverage strategies. So evergreen content that once you create it, it's out there for people to see perpetually, you know, forever. So that's why we focus on blog posts. You know, the one thing that you own online, or one of the two things that you own online, is a blog. Your social media profiles are owned by, you know, Facebook and YouTube and Twitter and Instagram. They can and they do shut you down. So, I mean, we've had Twitter accounts shut down. We've had our Facebook ads account shut down. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, our blog has definitely been like the hub of everything that we do. We create our content, we put it on our blog, and then we distribute it throughout other social media platforms through you know, Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. Mm-hmm. YouTube is another one. That's another source of evergreen content. But the thing is, you know, we don't own that, so we don't rely on it. But, you know, YouTube is another big part of our business because video does a really excellent job in drawing that like, trust factor. Right. In fact, what we found, go ahead.
I would say our opt-in rates, our conversion rates from our lead magnets from YouTube, it's like 48% or something. Yeah. Super high. Yep. I mean, because it's the like, and trust factor. Video is awesome. I wish we had started video sooner and not done so much. You know, we did a lot of text blogging, just article-based blog posts for months, for quite a long time when we got started. And then we finally transitioned into video, and it was more of getting over ourselves and getting comfortable in front of a camera that I think stalled us. But I wish we had gotten over that hump sooner, because I mean, people really feel like they know you when they get to see you on video.
Yeah, great tip. And that is a big challenge for a lot of people. And you guys work with a lot of clients. You guys coach a lot of people now, help a lot of people grow their business. I'm sure you see a lot of people that face a lot of challenges, you know, to kind of break through, and specifically around creating content. Because I find like that's usually a pivotal piece when those people that are able to get over themselves, like you said, and start creating that content. They're able to make a bigger breakthrough, whereas those people that are held back for whatever reason are kind of stay stuck. And I'm sure you guys have seen that with your clients as well. What are some of the big challenges that you've seen that clients, that your coaching clients, your students have faced, that kind of hold them back from overcoming and creating the success that they desire?
I think one of the biggest things, and it can come in a lot of different forms, but it's just staying in their comfort zone. Like, they take one little step out and they learn that, and now that's comfortable, and now they stay right there. Right. So we've had folks that have gotten, you know, they've started generating leads, but have they actually picked up the phone? No. And now they're working on creating more content and doing more stuff. And you're like, stop. You don't there's no point in continuing to put out content if you're not going to pick up the phone. Right. Yeah. So I think, you know, it's, you know, we've seen a lot of folks that'll take one little step and then they stop. Right. And they cause it becomes comfortable once they've done it a few times. Now they're good. It's like, no, you have to keep stepping out. You have to keep pushing beyond your limits if you want to progress. If you're comfortable having an expensive hobby, cool. But if you want a business, you know, you have to keep pushing outside of those boundaries and stepping out. And, you know, if you have to do what the big income earners are doing, you have to be willing to just make it happen. And I think one of the biggest struggles that I have watching people is you have to just decide to succeed. In the end, you got to just decide to succeed, and you're going to have to, you know, you're going to find a way to make it happen. Right. But the decision has to be there, and it has to be rock solid. Right. Once that decision is, and that's what helped with us. Like, there was no going back. Right. We went on and we're like, we are making this happen. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. And we just plowed through to make it happen. Right. You have to first just make that decision, and it has to be totally 100%. And then you just kind of figure out the rest, and you have to be willing to take the steps that are going to get you there.
Right. And I think probably the number one thing that holds people up is picking up the phone.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not hard to teach someone how to generate leads. We can teach someone how to generate leads in a few hours, and then within a few days, they've got leads coming in consistently.
Right.
But, once they get those leads, I mean, every week, we see, okay, you've got like 50 leads now. Are you going to call them? It's like, yeah, I'll call them. Then the next week comes along, they've got like, 75 leads. And I'm like, are you going to call them? Like, yeah, I don't know what to say. I mean, that seems to be the number one thing that holds people up. And I would say the number two thing would be creating that content, especially video, because they think it's never good enough. And what we have to remind people is that it's never going to be good enough.
No.
I mean, there's always something you can improve on, but you just need to make it, good enough. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs to be good enough. And the main thing people want to know when they see you is, are you getting results? And if you're generating leads, yeah, you're getting results. But number two, can they do what you do?
Right.
Okay. And if you come across as too polished and too professional and too, you're too
far out there.
Yeah,
you're
too
not
far out there.
reach.
Like if they can't make the connection of, I can do that. I could be what she is, or I could do what she does. If they can't make that connection, then it's not going to help you. People need to be able to see you as someone who's approachable, who's reachable and relatable, and someone that that has achieved something that they can achieve.
And I think what we've seen actually with some moms, stay-at-home moms, and they're like, oh, but my kids are going to make noise, and they're always climbing on me, and one of them screamed, and then I had to hang up the phone, and it's like, okay, you have no idea. I have a 2.5-year-old, right, who's potty training. You know how many screen shares and calls I've been on where I'm like, okay, hold on, I got to go wipe a butt. Like, that's life. That's like that is what that's what working from home is about, right? And so building, we've built our brand around being a family, right? We're not like, and so we're consistent with that. And so the people we attract to us are family-friendly people. And so when I have to say, time out, we're potty training, I need to run in the bathroom, make sure he's not playing in something gross, and wipe his butt. Like, they're okay with that. Like, it's not like, ooh, kids, no, this is the joys of working from home. This is real.
But that's the flip side of it too, is that why would you even want to work with somebody who doesn't like kids? If that's part of your life, why would you want to have to spend your whole time working with this person, hiding your children?
Yeah.
Why would you want to be something you're not, just to appease someone who not getting the results that you are? I mean, they need what you've got. I mean, if you know how to generate leads, if you know how to get to sales and signups, and you know how to market yourself online, they're the one that needs your help. You don't need them, right?
Yeah. So
that's
I love
it.
What we've seen.
Great advice. This is gold, absolute gold. All right, we've got to wrap it up. For those premium members inside of the membership, Todd and Leah are going to be walking us through some of their process of what they're doing to generate leads and grow their business. So really excited for you guys to share that with us. If you're not a member, make sure you check that out. But Todd, Leah, let's put a nice little bow on this. Let's wrap this up. People watching the show, listening to the show right now, they want to create a breakthrough in their business in the next 30 to 90 days. If you were to give them 3 tips for what they need to focus on to create their breakthrough in the next 30 to 90 days, what would those 3 tips be?
Serving others, providing just buku's value, right? That is where keep pouring out more and more content, sharing more with people, helping more people, and it ends up coming back. Like that's huge. When
you learn something, when you figure it out, I mean, you need to teach it to others. That's what's going to make other people see you as a leader and attract others to you. Okay. If you think you figured something out and you just keep it to yourself, well, that's not serving your community. That's not serving the people who are relying on you to teach them what they want to know. I would say that probably number one thing. Oh, there he is again. At least he's got his pants on this time. I'd say the number one thing is you need to connect with a mentor. Okay, if you're not getting results, if you're not getting the help you need from your upline, you need to connect with find somebody who is building their business the way that you want to build yours, and connect with them. Find out what they know, see if they can help you out. I mean, there's just so many people out there who are willing to help and who have the ability to help. And the thing is, I think a lot of people just have a fear of reaching out because they think, oh, am I going to get pitched?
In bed now. You're supposed to be sleeping.
Am I going to get pitched? Am I, are they going to try and sell me on something? Do I really want to? And it's also admitting a little bit of vulnerability on your part as well. You know, I mean, having to admit to someone else that things aren't going great.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the questions we ask people is, oh, great, you have an online business. How's it going? The number one thing they always say, it's great. It's good. Okay. We know it's not, because they're not generating leads. They're not getting sales and signups. So that's the number one thing they say. It's good. Great.
Yeah.
So there's two. Third, I honestly, it just comes down to making the decision. Just decide to succeed. That it's it. Decide, right? And then that has to come first and foremost, because then you'll be willing to do what it takes, right? Then the rest is just making it happen. But you have to make that decision first.
I love it. Perfect. Perfect.
Say hi.
Hi.
People might as well meet us.
Yeah, this is the little that's running around.
Say hi to everyone. Hi.
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 And that's the best day.
Yes. Now let's go take a nap.
All right. He's going to be an early video blogger.
Yes, he is.
Awesome. Todd, Leah, guys, this is amazing. Really incredible value. Thank you so much for taking 20 minutes here to chat with us and share your experience and your knowledge and everything that you've gone through and all the great things that you've learned over the last 14 months. Amazing, incredibly short time. Congratulations again on your guys' success. And I really look forward to what you're going to achieve in the next year coming forward with everything you've already established for yourselves in such a short amount of time. So again, thank you so much for being here, both of you. Really appreciate it.
Great. Thank you, Norbert.
Thanks.
Awesome. All right, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Again, like I said, make sure you apply what you learned here today. Todd and Leah shared some really golden, valuable nuggets. Just take a few of those things away and apply them into your business. And for those of you who are the members of the Online Profit Playbook, we'll see you inside with the premium edition of this episode. Everyone, take care. See you next week. I hope you enjoyed this week's Playmaker session. If you love the session, subscribe now to our YouTube channel so you never miss our weekly episodes. Be sure to also subscribe to the podcast on iTunes. Just type in Online Playmakers in the search bar and click subscribe, and be sure to leave a 5-star review. All of the episodes, show notes, transcripts, resources, and bonuses are available on the blog over at onlineprofitplaybook.com, along with several bonus free tutorials I've created for you as well. Your fast track to results is to follow the Playmakers. You can download their closely guarded playbooks and follow them step by step to grow your influence, build your audience, and create results in your business right now. Head over to onlineprofitplaybook.com and join the Playmakers to get full access today. Thank you again for joining us today, and be sure to tune in next week as we bring you another power-packed session with the top Playmakers online. This is Norbert Orlowitz signing off.